Welcome to WestfordCAT's weekly news show. I'm Alex Svensson. October has just begun, and we've got a bunch of news stories for you. Let's start off with this week's top stories. State Senator John Cronin, who represents Westford, joined the Massachusetts State Senate to unanimously approve a new bill known as the Massachusetts Data Privacy Act on Thursday, September 25th. The bill provides Massachusetts residents with expansive protections over their personal data and online activity by creating clear rights for residents to know what information is being collected online and who that information is shared with, as well as allowing residents to opt out of having their personal data being used for targeted advertising or sold to other companies. The bill protects a wide variety of consumer data, including that related to medical information, face scans and fingerprints, geolocation data, and information on a person's religion or ethnicity and immigration status. The bill also provides specific and more stringent protections for minors, including a complete ban on the sale of children's personal data, and will allow for residents to correct inaccurate data, delete personal information, and prevent their data from being sold. Massachusetts residents have a right to be online without companies trying to exploit their private data for financial gain, Senator Cronin said. The Senate's bill puts control back in the hands of consumers and ensures that bad actors can't leverage sensitive information to hurt real people. I'm proud to join my colleagues to stand up to big tech companies, to put residents first, and defend the values that our Commonwealth is built on. The bill was approved during the September 25th Senate session on a bipartisan vote of 40-0. It's now up for the House of Representatives to approve of it before it can land on Governor Healey's desk. Last month, the Select Board reviewed and signed the 2025 Special Town Meeting warrant, which includes 13 articles scheduled to go before voters this month. Town Moderator Angela Harkness attended the September 23rd meeting to help review the proposed articles with the Select Board. The Planning Board reviewed Articles 4, 5, and 6 and 7 on September 29th, while the Finance Committee reviewed Articles 1, 2, and 3 on September 25th. The Select Board is expected to make recommendations on Articles 1 through 7 at its October 14th meeting. During its September 23rd meeting, the Select Board voted unanimously to recommend Articles 8 through 12. The board did not take a position on Article 13. The town of Westford, in partnership with the Massachusetts Department of Transportation and regional planners at the Northern Middlesex Council of Governments, has been working on an ongoing infrastructure improvement project on Boston Road in Westford. As a result of the construction, Boston Road has been closed on weekdays between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m.
I'm here at the Boston Road construction site in Westford, where crews just recently were working on repaving the roadway. I spoke to Kyle Fox, the director of Westford Public Works, and Paul Starrett, the Westford town engineer, and asked them a little bit about the status of the project, when the project's going to be completed, and what work is going to get done.
So yeah, we've had a busy summer in Public Works, doing a lot of our normal maintenance, which includes roadside mowing, drainage basin maintenance, other drainage structure maintenance, and striping, crosswalks, stop bars, and just all the general maintenance we do throughout the summer. In addition, we've done a number of some high profile, some lower profile projects.
A portion of Boston Road in Westford has been closed for several hours during weekdays in order to complete an ongoing road reconstruction project which began on April 7th. The town of Westford said the project intends to rehabilitate a 1.05-mile stretch of the road between Main Street and Interstate 495. The $15.6 million project, which was approved after the engineering department secured the funding in 2023, aims to build a new water main, an updated stormwater management system, reconstruct the roadway, create new traffic calming medians, and construct a new sidewalk the full length of the project, which will also include bike lanes. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation is also providing $12 million in funds for the construction phase of the project.
The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, through Mass DOT, is our partner for this project, so they're actually managing and funding the construction. The town's responsibility was the design and the land acquisitions for a portion of the project. Why a portion? Well, that's because Mass DOT actually owns and manages and maintains a portion of Boston Road, mostly from the below Crown Road, between Crown Road and 495. And that's one of the things that we hope to change as a result of this project is once the state rebuilds Boston Road to perfection, then the town will have the opportunity to take ownership of the road. So we'll be responsible for it going forward.
As of this past July, the town said new utility poles have been installed, with utility companies relocating power lines to the new pole locations, and the installation of a new stormwater drainage system has begun, which will make up most of the construction work set for this fall. Meanwhile, the town said temporary asphalt patches are installed at the end of each day in order to avoid open or gravel trenches that spread dust and debris throughout the job site. The new road surface will be permanently installed when the buried utility work is complete.
The town of Westford says the roadway reconstruction project is expected to be completed in late 2026 or early 2027, barring any unforeseen conditions. Reporting for WestfordCAT, I'm Alex Svensson.
Now let's turn it over to our reporter Jenny Bohonic, who has some important health and wellness stories she's been covering for us recently.
Thank you, Alex. Despite changes to federal recommendations for who should get some routine vaccines, the advice from local doctors remains the same. They say the scientific research supporting use of these vaccines has not changed. Both local doctors and national physician organizations are encouraging nearly all people aged 6 months and older to get a yearly COVID-19 vaccine this fall. They also are recommending that parents continue to vaccinate their children with the MMR or its variation, the MMRV vaccine, for measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella, which is more commonly known as chickenpox. They say these vaccines are safe and effective and are used to prevent complications, hospitalizations, and death. These vaccines should be available locally due to actions taken by Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey to ensure vaccine availability and insurance coverage. I spoke with Dr. Stefan Gopal, a lifestyle medicine doctor and family medicine doctor and Westford Board of Health member, who said this year's COVID-19 vaccine is recommended for nearly everyone aged 6 months and older, including healthy adults, pregnant women, people at high risk of getting severe COVID, and children.
So I'm continuing to recommend the COVID vaccination for my patients and most of their family members because none of the science has changed. None of the scientists have changed or the medical organizations. We're all still in agreement that the COVID vaccination is incredibly safe and incredibly effective. And I recommend it for anyone, any child over age 6 months, all the way up to all adults, including healthy adults, pregnant women, and lactating women. I am working with my patients. I think we are in a state where the availability is going to be pretty accessible, but I am preparing them that due to a lot of the confusion that's being sown by the federal government, that they may have to advocate a little bit for themselves. And I have seen this firsthand with some of the pharmacies where they don't quite know where the regulations have fallen and that they should be giving vaccinations to everyone over the, every adult. Younger ages should be getting them with their pediatricians, but any healthy adult should be able to get a vaccination in Massachusetts right now. And again, there are sometimes things on the survey when you're making an appointment that you may see as a hurdle. It may say, are you eligible? More than likely, you are eligible. And again, the recommendations from the medical institutions are that everyone should be able to get it.
Around 80 people, mostly Westford residents, came out to the Cameron Senior Center last month for a grocery program that helps senior citizens on a tight budget. The Cameron Food Distribution Program is volunteer-run and makes it possible for food donated from several grocery stores to be shared with residents who need help affording their groceries each week. Donors included Panera Bread in Westford, Whole Foods Market in Westford and Nashua, New Hampshire, and Trader Joe's in Acton. On Mondays and Thursdays, The program is open to anyone age 55 and older to shop for free groceries, with Westford residents being served in the first group. Between January and August 2025, the program had 5,777 shopping visits from people, mostly from Westford residents. On Fridays in September, the 300 Westford town employees wore special teal t-shirts to bring attention to suicide awareness and prevention. This is the second year that town employees have participated. Grant funding and donations from the nonprofit See a New Sun Foundation, based in Littleton, Massachusetts, paid for the shirts. It's important to share the message that it's okay if you're not okay. There's assistance available if you need help or someone to talk to, said Ray Dick, director of the Westford Health Department. Dick said employees wearing the special t-shirts, as well as information and pictures posted on the town common, are used to convey this message. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, suicide is among the leading causes of death in the United States. In 2022, Massachusetts had a suicide rate of 8.6 deaths per 100,000 people, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. If you, a friend, a family member, or someone you know is in crisis or needs assistance, please call or text the 988 Lifeline. Thank you, and now back to you, Alex.
Thank you, Jenny. This April, Park Run USA will be holding a free weekly 5K run and walk around Burgess Pond, starting at the Stony Brook School. Park Run is a free community event where participants can walk, jog, run, or volunteer or spectate in a 5K every Saturday morning, with the aim of safeguarding and promoting the welfare of children and adults at risk. I spoke to co-event directors for the Westford Park Run, Lydia Meyer-Turkson and Dr. Stefan Gopal, and asked them what went into planning the Westford Park Run and what goals they hope to achieve with the event. Lydia and Stefan, thank you for coming into the studio today.
Thank you for having us, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
So to start off, would you like to tell us a little bit about what Park Run is and what it hopes to achieve?
Park Run is a British charity that was set up over 21 years ago now. It's all about lowering the barriers to physical movement and exercise. So it was set up in Bushy Park 21 years ago, and it's a free 5K community walk and run and participate, really. So at the end of the event, happens every Saturday, same time. We're one of 4 park runs in the greater Boston area. So we'll meet as a community, get out and run or walk what is the Westford cross-country route behind Stony Brook School, and then end up with probably a cup of tea or a cup of coffee in a nearby cafe, just to meet up as a community.
What inspired you to organize this event, and kind of like give me a quick kind of brief rundown of the process of what went into it and how it came together?
So a lot of the preparation is engaging the community, getting the landowners' permission, listening to and getting comments, and continuing to modify the proposal until it was at a position where we could get sign off and get approval, really. What are kind of the goals that Park Run hopes to achieve? Why is it important? And what are maybe some the kind of outcomes?
So I had recently, I'm a local physician. I've been here for about 7 years, and recently opened up a lifestyle and longevity medicine practice. So evidence-based medicine that focuses on lifestyle interventions. And the 6 pillars of that are physical activity, nutrition, reducing stress, getting good sleep, healthy social interactions. And so while I was getting this clinic started, I was wanting to promote healthy things in the community. And one of those was a nonprofit that I do that is a little lower key than Park Run. It's called Walk with a Doc. And we are able to do that over the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail. And you, I think, had heard about that and heard about like my practice. And when you brought this to my attention, I mean, I was like, anything that can bring more health and sociability to the community, I think is a great thing, and is something that like I will fight tooth and nail to sort of make it happen.
Lydia, you were talking about how it's more about kind of participating and people like doing this for their health, but also for the fun of doing it, not about who's getting first. But actually, I have a question. If we're talking about first, is this the first of its kind of event in Westford? Is this the first time it'll be happening? And then do you hope you'll see it more in the future, like happening again, maybe in other communities across the state?
So Park Run is we'll be the 4th in Greater Boston. It'll be the first park run in Westford. So I want us to get on that list. I want us to be on that map. There are people who travel through the whole of North America looking to participate in every park run. So when we get on that map, it's a really cool sort of community to be within. So very much looking forward to that, and looking forward to build participation. The more people that we can bring along to both help. At the moment, we're really looking to recruit the core volunteer group. So we need 10 or 15 people to volunteer on a regular basis, and it's a relatively low lift. It's people to come and check the timing, people to come and welcome and greet people, to give out tokens every time that you participate. You get a token and scan your park run code to that token. So that goes towards your various t-shirts. So for me, success, or for us, I think success will be extending the time period for this park run event year after year after year.
Lydia, Stefan, thank you so much again for joining us today here at WestfordCAT.
Now let's take a look at this week's weather forecast. The start of the week is expected to be sunny and much warmer than average for this time of year in Westford. Temperatures are expected to reach the mid to high 70s on Monday and Tuesday, and will not cool down until midweek when cooler air moves into the area. With the cooler air, Westford will also see the chance for rain and possible isolated thunderstorms on Wednesday, with another chance for rain on Thursday. Temperatures will then plummet back down into the high 50s and low 60s for Thursday and Friday, which is more typical for this time of year. Let's also take a look at the fall foliage report for the Westford area. According to the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation, the peak time for foliage around Westford will be the 2nd and 3rd week of October, depending on the temperature and weather conditions. This fall has been expected to be warmer than average, potentially impacting the fall foliage and resulting in a later peak time. That's it for weather. Now let's take a look at sports for this week. The Westford Academy Ghosts football team are hoping to beat the Waltham Hawks as they take them on for their 3rd away game of the season this Friday. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. at the Leary Field at Waltham High School. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots will face the New Orleans Saints at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans for their 3rd away game of the season on Sunday. The Saints, who are in the bottom of the NFC South, are desperately hoping for a win, while the Patriots are hoping to keep their 2nd place spot in the AFC East. That's all for this week's edition of WestfordCAT News, but we'll return on October 12th with more stories. I'm Alex Svensson, and thank you for watching WestfordCAT.